I remember that Sunday like it was yesterday. I was coming back from York. Conference. Boring, long, predictable. The kind where you shake hands, fake smiles, sit through panels you forget before they even end. I boarded the 1841 train heading south. Coach B window seat. That's what the ticket said. Nothing unusual. Until I saw it. A book. A small leather-bound diary. Sitting across from me. No label, no markings. Cracked at the spine. A little too worn to be new, but too precise to be old. I looked around. Nobody seemed to notice it. Nobody claimed it. So I did what anyone would do. I opened it. The first page stopped me cold, because it had one thing written at the top, one single word, my name, written in my exact handwriting, every curve, every line, exactly how I write it, even the flick on the end of the N. But I hadn't written it. I was sure of that. And below it was today's date. I stared at the page for a long time, then turned it. The next line read, he boards the 1841 from York. Coach B window seat, alone, as always, because she's not real, not anymore. My stomach turned. Coach B window seat, that was me. She's not real? What the hell did that mean? I looked around again. The woman a few rows up was typing something on her phone. A man near the door was reading. Nobody noticed me. Nobody noticed this book. I should have closed it. I should have thrown it on the floor. But I didn't. I kept reading. Next line. He thinks it's just a coincidence. He'll tell himself it's a joke. But the book is already watching. I closed the cover. My fingers felt warm against the leather. Not like heat. More like a heartbeat. I stuffed it into my bag and tried to forget about it. But the reflection in the window across from me was gone. No me. No chair. Just black. I tried to breathe normally. Tried to tell myself it was nothing, just a coincidence, just a weird book, someone's prank. But the longer I sat there, the more I realized something was wrong. Really wrong. The train moved quietly beneath me, smooth, silent. But the world outside, still nothing. No trees, no fields, just black. Like the windows weren't windows anymore. Just dark mirrors, except they didn't show me. I glanced across the aisle. A woman sat 2 rows up. She hadn't moved once, still scrolling her phone. Expressionless, still. So I asked, "Excuse me?" Nothing. She didn't even blink. I leaned forward, closer, softer this time. "Ma'am, do you see?" Still nothing, not even a flinch. Like I wasn't there at all. And then something hit me. The conductor. He hadn't come by. No one had checked my ticket. No one had even looked at me. Not once. I checked the time. 18:57. Still early. Still enough time for everything to be normal, right? But then I heard it. Not from outside. Not from the speaker. From inside my bag. A sound I knew far too well. Scratching. Paper. Being written on. I unzipped the bag. And sure enough, the diary was open. And its pages were writing themselves, line after line, ink bleeding onto the paper. I held my breath and read. He still thinks he has time, still thinks he's alone, but he's not. One of them is already watching. My hands began to shake. I looked up and froze. 2 rows ahead, behind the woman with the phone, someone was standing, tall, unmoving, head tilted ever so slightly, like it was trying to understand what I was. But the face, there wasn't one. Just skin, flat and featureless, like a mannequin left unfinished. And then it moved. 1 step, slow, deliberate, and then another. No sound. I blinked, and it was gone. I grabbed the diary and held it tight. I didn't dare breathe. I told myself I imagined it. that I was tired, confused, losing it. But when I looked down, the book had flipped to a new page, and on it, 4 words: "You're already inside." I couldn't stay in that seat. Not after what I saw, not with that thing still burned into my brain. I stood up, shoulders tense, legs shaky. I clutched the diary tight and moved toward the next carriage. The sliding doors opened, but the moment I stepped through, everything changed. The lights in this car were different, dimensions flickering, orange-tinted. The walls weren't plastic, they were wood. Dark wood panels with gold trim, like something from the 1960s. Ashtrays on the arms of the chairs, green velvet seats, no passengers, no sound. The door behind me shut. I turned around. The car I just left? Gone. Only darkness through the door window. I was alone. That's when I saw it. A mirror, framed in brass, oval, bolted between 2 seats. I stepped toward it. At first, I saw nothing but my own reflection. Then, a shadow moved behind me. I spun. Nothing. Turned back. Now the reflection was gone. No me, no shadow, just an empty frame. And sitting right beneath the mirror was the diary. Even though I still had mine in my hands. Identical. Same leather, same wear, same smell. That faint, sour parchment scent. I reached down, picked it up. It was cold, freezing. I flipped it open. Nothing. Blank pages, except the very last one. One sentence. "If you're reading this, the train has already decided." I closed the book, put it down. That's when the lights cut out completely. Total darkness. Not even emergency lighting. Not even the hum of the train. Just silence. Until the scratching started again, but not from my bag, not from the diary, from beneath me. A slow, scraping sound, metal against metal. Then, something like breath, a slow inhale. Right below the floorboards, I crouched and saw it, a hatch, flush with the floor, rectangular, no handle, but now it was rising, just a few centimeters. And something pale and jointed, reached up from the dark. The hatch groaned open, just a few inches at first, then wider. The thing rising from beneath wasn't in a rush. It didn't need to be. I stepped back, tripping over the velvet seat behind me. I hit the floor hard. Bag still clutched to my chest. The hatch opened wider, and it came through. First, a hand, thin, gray, almost translucent, each finger too long, too sharp. Then a second hand, and arms. Pale, wet skin stretched tight over bone. It was pulling itself through the floor, like it lived in the space between the rails and the world. And as it rose, its head tilted toward me. It was wearing a mask, old fabric, torn, stitched across the front like an old doll's face. No eyes. But I could feel it staring. It sniffed the air and spoke. "Your page," it said in a dry, broken voice, "is blank." I couldn't move. I couldn't even scream. The diary in my arms began to shake. Pages flipping rapidly, wind whipping through the dark car. The creature stepped closer. Its head twitched, like it was sniffing time itself. Then it raised a hand and touched its own mask. Slowly, softly, and said, "You haven't written it yet." But we read it anyway. My blood ran cold, and in that moment, everything froze. The lights stopped flickering, the pages stopped turning, even the air felt suspended, like the train was holding its breath. Then, a ding, followed by a voice over the intercom, calm, gentle. "Next stop, terminal." The thing? Gone. No sound, no claw, no hatch, just silence. But the diary, still there, now with one new sentence. "You must finish what she started." I didn't know who she was, or what any of this meant. but I knew what I had to do. I sat in the seat beneath the mirror, opened the last page, and started to write. The train slowed, not stopped, just eased, like it didn't want to arrive. But it was being pulled by something stronger. The window still showed nothing. No station, no lights, just black, endless black. But then the doors opened, and for the first time since I boarded, I felt cold air. Still, stale, not night air, tunnel air. I stepped out, onto a platform that didn't exist on any map. No signs, no benches, no people. Only one word spray-painted across every wall. Terminal. And just ahead of me, a bench, old, rusted, and on it, a second diary. Identical, except for the name on the front, Anna. I dropped to my knees. Anna was my sister. She died 7 years ago. A train accident. Wrong platform, wrong time, wrong train. She'd always kept a journal, but it was never found. I picked up the diary, opened it, and inside were pages, dozens of them, all in her handwriting, talking about me. He's always blamed himself, even though it wasn't his fault, even though he couldn't have known. He carries the guilt like a second skin, and now the train carries him. Tears hit the page. I flipped forward. Final page. Only 2 words. End it. I sat on the bench, and for the first time, I wrote back. Wrote everything I'd seen, everything I'd felt, every moment. And as the final sentence dried on the paper, the tunnel lights behind me flickered out. One by one, the train's doors hissed shut, and it left, without me. I woke up the next morning, in my bed. Diary gone, train ticket gone, just silence. But sometimes, when I ride the train home at night, I feel something heavy in my bag, and when I check, the diary is there again, pages blank, waiting,